This one completely disgusts me. For those of you who do not think that white privilege exists, please allow me to introduce you to Andy Reid's son, Britt Reid. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to The Fumble. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you do not miss out on a video. And if you feel so inclined, head on over to Instagram and Twitter and follow me at JRayTheFanatic. Now, if somehow you do not know, Britt Reid is a former Chiefs assistant and the son of Kansas City Chief head coach Andy Reid, and just not a good guy. A few months ago, we told you about an accident that Britt Reid was involved in. He was going 84 miles per hour and hit a car that was pulled off to the side because it wouldn't start. Britt Reid never slowed down. It was an off-ramp, and he hit two cars at full speed. At the time of the crash, Britt admitted that he had been drinking and taking prescription drugs. Because of his negligence and reckless behavior, Ariel Young, the 5-year-old child who was in one of the cars struck by Britt Reid, she suffered a traumatic brain injury and left fighting for her life. And her parents were wondering if their daughter would survive or if her life would be taken before it even began. Because of their commitment to do no harm, doctors also had to perform emergency surgery on Britt Reid for his growing injury following the collision. Now keep in mind, Britt admitted to drinking and taking prescription drugs right before the crash. 2 hours after the crash, he had a blood alcohol level of 0.113, which is almost twice the legal limit. But on Monday, he decided to say he feels he shouldn't face any consequences for his actions. So let me get this straight. You were going 84 miles per hour on an off-ramp, completely inebriated, and you have the unmitigated gall to plead not guilty? Not guilty while a little girl will never have a normal life because you decided to be a born-again jackass. Are you serious right now? The only hope we have is that the justice system will actually work and laugh this man out of the courtroom. This is where you can cue black people everywhere laughing at me for saying that the justice system would actually work. Because even with this man's prior record, he gets to not only walk out of a cell and carry on with his normal life until the trial, he gets to keep the keys to his car so he can drive around. Because don't forget, Britt Reid has a long history of daddy covering up the fact that his son loves his drug and alcohol, and he should never drive. Britt Reid pled guilty in 2007 to gun and drug charges stemming from a road rage dispute, which included carrying a firearm without a license. He was sentenced to 8 to 23 months in prison. He also pled guilty to a DUI and drug charges from a separate incident later that year. Anyone with 1 ounce of common sense would never let this man drive again. But instead, Jackson County Judge Karen, also known as Jessica Angeli, said the initial no driving condition was mistakenly added to Britt Reid's bond condition. Instead, he can drive, and his vehicle is required to have an ignition interlock device that will prevent him from driving if he's drunk. I'm sorry, but driving is a privilege, and one that should be revoked permanently when you destroy the life of a 5-year-old girl. His felony charge only carries a max sentence of 7 years, while this young woman has received a life sentence because of his actions. I would like to say I'm surprised, but I have been in this country my whole entire life. But I will say, Judge Karen, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you somehow think Britt Reid should be allowed to drive again, you're kind of with Karen, aren't you? But let me know why in the comments below. Once again, I'm Jackie Ray. Thanks for watching The Fumble, and we'll see you next time.